We're back with today's episode of 30 Things That Suck. Today we are talking about day number 23. 23. What's up, Bob? We got some shouts so far. Brian, what's up, buddy? Mike, how you doing, Mike? Today's topic is homelessness and why it sucks. Now, I have never been homeless. I've been blessed. Let's be real. I mean, 90-something% of homelessness probably is, where you were born into, who your parents were, etc. Let me get this camera straight a little bit. Maybe I just got to get my chair straight a little bit. There we go. A little bit more this way. There we go. Yes. Oh, Captain, what's up, bud? We were chilling. Yes, because it's like if you're born and your parents got a house, and well, I mean, just to go even further than that, if your mom gets pregnant, everybody has a mom. It's an undoubtable fact. Every person out there has a mom. Every person out there has a dad. Even if you were one of the 0.00001 people born by artificial insemination, you had a mom and you had a dad. Okay, but 90, I don't know what percent of this is, because of that. Like if you're born and you come from a fractured home, or your mom never knew your dad, or whatever, and you were born, maybe some people's mom died in childbirth, some people's mom was murdered when they were 2, whatever. I mean, it's if that kind of stuff happens, you got, boy, you're up against it, man. You're up against it. Captain, just click the join button right underneath the let's see here. Hold on, let me pull up YouTube so I can tell you exactly. There should be a join button right underneath the stream there. It should say like subscribe, and you should have already be subscribed, and it'll say join. Then just click the join, and then you get all the cool emojis, such as the one that you suggested, Churchill, and then I got Freddie Mercury, a coat hanger, a heart, Brown's helmet, and Robert. So there you go. There's all the emojis available for channel members. Dave, what up, what up? What you doing, buddy? Yeah, so like if you're born into a household that, where you just don't have 2 caregivers who are of means, you're stacked up against it. You really are, like from the rip. Depends on your neighborhood too. If you're born in a bad neighborhood, where your parents or whoever's watching you is, barely living above the line, or they can't make ends meet. I mean, it's hard to break that cycle, man. It really is. Dave, what's up, bud? Sounds good, man. Yeah, so it's like a lot of homeless I can't fucking talk today. Oh, we are doing gummies for like I said, I can't talk. We're doing gummies for Super Chats today. I am off work tonight. We're going to see, me and Nikki are going to see Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison, and Joan Jett. So those guys are all in Cleveland right now. If you're out there listening, Motley Crue, like if you're in the back of your limo and you're on the way to there, from the Hilton there, you're going to the concert right now, Motley Crue, hit me up, bro. I want you on my show. Mickey Six, Vince Neil, any one of them. You guys are more than welcome to come on the show, bro. Hell yeah. But those guys don't want to be homeless. But yeah, it's like the homeless, people tend to look down on the homeless. Now, I know a lot of homeless. This part gets a little controversial because there are some people, not a lot. I'm not saying this is the case in most cases. I don't know the percentages. Could be as low as 5, could be as high as 50. Okay. But there are a lot of people who would prefer, I don't want to say be homeless, but prefer to be in an environment to where they're not accountable to people. You know what I mean? Like, there is something to be said for, living on the edge. Like, I'm just going to do whatever happens, and that goes. But even that extent is usually pretty low. I would say most people who are homeless are probably there because of either one. I mean, most people are homeless beyond, a reasonable state. I mean, if you go to a country like Bangladesh or whatever, Nambia, something like that, you're going to have just swarts and swarts of homeless people just because that's the nature of the country. But if you're in a country like, we're talking primarily about Western countries, first world nations here. If you're homeless in a country like this, and it wasn't because like your, like your upbringing or whatnot, it's typically because of either drug use. And when I'm talking drug use, we're talking hard drug use like heroin, cocaine, shit that makes you totally dependent on, like, you need that drug to survive. Yeah, that's another thing too, Web. Is that what's up anyways, Web? John too as well. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's there's varying definitions of homeless too, because like you could have underhomed people. It's not really a phrase, I guess, but like when I say underhomed, like say you're 40, say you're in a relationship with somebody, say that relationship ended, say you have to pay child support and alimony or something like that. Say you can't afford your current mortgage. You got to move back in with your parents, move in with your brother, move in with an uncle or something. Is that person homeless? Technically not, because they have a home. But are they underhomed? Is that the maximum home they should be having at that stage of their life? Probably not. I mean, we run into issues of, is it a right to have a domicile? Should you, as a citizen of that country, be guaranteed a right to have housing? I don't think we have that right. I don't think we have that right in this country, at least in America. I know in overseas, like especially in the UK, like, and we know several people from the UK. Some of you guys are from the UK. You know, let's take example. Let's take people from the UK and people from the USA on disability, for example. Say you got whatever condition you can't control, okay, and you're not able to work. You're in the United States. The United States, they'll typically give you either SSI based on what you worked. If you didn't work, there's just a minimum amount of SSI, and that's quite low. If you've worked, you get a lot. Like if I was to get medically retired right now from Social Security Administration, I would get a certain amount, and I'm a federal worker, so I get more there too. So it would be good for me. But like, if you were never able to work in the United States, what's the rate? $800-900 a month, $1,000 a month, and even then, they don't guarantee you a house. They'll give you vouchers, put you in certain areas. But over in the UK, I mean, they at least provide you a residence and a nice monthly stipend. Both, you know, you don't pay, but they take away. Yep. So it's like, I mean, well, the homelessness thing too is such a deep issue. There's so much cultural shit in there. There's so much political stuff in there. I mean, like, if you look at the majority of the nation's homelessness, where is it at? Anybody? The hot weather states, California, I think. A lot of homeless in Hawaii. Because you don't need a fucking constant weather. There's not bad weather in these places, so it's easy to be homeless. If it's fucking 80 degrees every day, you can sleep under a bridge. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? But if you're up here, Cleveland, dude, it gets negative something sometimes. Imagine negative degrees and you're trying to sleep. You're probably gonna freeze. You know what I mean? So I think the homeless will tend to be concentrated in certain areas for sure. Like they're gonna want to go to California. They're gonna maybe they just can't leave. Maybe they're just in California and the policies, fucking kept them there. I mean, it is a lot. It is part that. I mean, but even then, I mean, say I lived in California, grew up in California. Say I was a sanitation worker, or I worked in an office, or as a policeman or whatever, security guard, worked at McDonald's. And then they came in and just the rents went through the roof. All my family's there. All my friends are there, And these people come in with their investments and the property values went so high that I couldn't afford to live there. What am I going to do? Can't just leave your hometown. We'll live in a van. Fucking van life. You know how much one of those vans cost? How much one of them vans cost converted? $100,000 at this point. Bro, I didn't pay $100,000 for my house. You know how hard it is to get $100,000? You got nothing? We have people under the bridge and on the riverbanks. Damn, man. Yeah, it's going to keep going up too, man. The price of real estate is ridiculous right now, JB. It's, I mean, look at the area you're in. Not even just you, just anybody. How much it is to buy a house right now compared to 10 years ago, compared to 5 years ago? I bought my house in 2009. It was $94,000. It was moving ready. It was a little bit here or there. Still a lot of work needs to be done. But this house now, the way, because you're talking 175 probably. I don't know. Or 50 at least. I mean, if it was fixed up nice. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I got the VA loan, so I didn't have to put no money down. Imagine being out there. Oh, I want to buy a house. What do you need? 10% down. What's the average of a house? $200,000. Okay. And that's the minimum. That's Ohio. So you're in Florida and go buy a house. How much you need for a house? $500,000. 10% down, 50,000. You know how long it takes for modern people to save up 50 grand? You know how much money you have to make to save up $50,000? Fucking A. Yeah, we get 60. Brian's a $60,000 box man. Yeah. You got that kind of money? In an RV, you know, like Webb says, $100,000. It's not like fucking National Lampoons. You don't make a deal with this guy. He takes your house and then you get the RV. It's not how it works. You lose your house, you're done. You're sleeping in a car. We're damn ridiculous. And living in a van down by the river is not fun. I mean, if you got a fun river, there's a lot of bars there maybe. But like, you're living in a van. What are you gonna do? Bathe? You gonna bathe in the van? Put a shower in your van? Yeah, that kind of money, you can afford a house. I mean, so don't get all up in arms like, oh yeah, van life, that's the way to go. We need to do that now. Those people are doing that for show. Most of those people, I don't know the numbers. I don't. But can you imagine living in a van your whole life with the same person? They get old after about one summer. I mean, let's be real. 10 years living in fucking parks, showering in random places, sleeping in his van. Come on, man. It's not a way to live. It's not even affordable for most people, and it's not even a way to live. What do you do? Go get a tent? I'm going to drive my van down by here and go live in a tent. No, you're not. You're going to be miserable. Move back with your parents 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Do you remember that one Simpsons, Captain, where they did something like that? It was one of the Halloween episodes. And we've solved the homeless problem, and we've found a way to feed the aliens. And they just had the homeless guys walking into a thing, and then the aliens just ate them. Rico, what's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you don't want to eat human meat to begin with, much less fucking, somebody who hasn't taken a bath in a while. And I'm not saying all homeless people haven't taken a bath in a while, but I mean, you could tell when somebody is not bathed. If you walk by and you just can't stand the smell, I mean, if you can smell somebody from more than 2 feet away, they probably need to take a bath. Let's be real. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to get out of homelessness, gamer. You probably know that for yourself. I mean, think about friends of yours. I mean, it's a margin in society, bro. We live on the margins. We don't really take care of people like this should. I mean, I know that when I say that, that's a very general statement. I know a lot of people don't take care of themselves like these should. Okay. But it shouldn't be you need to be really super successful just to get a house. Like, we got to make it a little bit more livable. And then they come up with shit like, oh, we need tiny homes. Oh, tiny home. No, dude, tiny homes are the size of a parking spot. Okay. And what's a tiny home cost you? 40 grand, 50 grand. By the time you buy a property and get that shit plumbing and everything else, you're in 150 grand for that tiny home. I mean, if you move into a tiny home park, what would you do? What's the rent going to be there? At least 200, probably 300 if you want water, all other shit. All right, tiny home's not going to work. It's not a solution for homelessness. You live in a tiny homes are the size of a parking spot. There's a reason campers and everything else are second homes and not primary homes, dude. You don't want that as your first home, man. You do not want that as your first home. I sold myself on street corners with the sign that said, "Insert yourself into my crack so I can get crack." I had a sign that said, if I was to be homeless, I would just have a sign that says, "Give me weed." I don't even put please, just give me weed. This is true too, Captain. The elite do need to downsize their homes. And this comes with tax reform. And a lot of you people have issues with the maximum wage, but I mean, there comes a point when off the backs of taxpayers, we hate to pick on Jeff Bezos all the time, but I mean, think back to the fight for Amazon headquarters too. You got fucking 100 people, 100 different cities, giving them tax breaks and shit. Jeff Bezos does not need $10 billion in tax breaks. You don't. Think how many people $10 billion could have homed, could have fed. End of the day, people just want jobs so they can afford the house. Somebody had a job to go to pay the house, they do it. Jobs are hard to come by now. You need a lot of training. And the rich people just keep giving other jobs to the rich people. Let's be real. It's a self-continuing thing. And I mean, this might be one of those problems. And this problem could have an easy fix. I think it might somewhat fix itself. Because what's happening, I think why the housing crisis is going so high right now is these Airbnbs. For those of you, I don't know if you guys got Airbnb in the UK, but like what Airbnb is basically you can go to a website and rent out a party house for, I don't know, whatever a night. And people just go there and not a party house. It's like a hotel thing for houses. So like say I wanted to, I owned a house and I just like, fucking, I want to live here, but I'm going to rent it out to strangers or whatever. You could do that. And that's what people are doing. These real estate trusts are just buying up all these houses and driving the market up. There was already kind of a glut. But what goes up must come down. I mean, you can't have a market where everything's a cash offer and this is not sustainable, dude. I take my Saturday bath, whether I need it or not. Boxable is what Elon Musk says the solution. Yeah, I'm cool on the box house. I mean, have you ever, I've seen them. I've seen the box house. Look at those Hong Kong. They got them over there. It looks cool. It'd be cool for like a day. Like if I was to fly to, fucking Turkey or some shit. Yeah, I'd sit in one of those units. I'm not trying to live there. Yeah, think about that. 10 billion would make 10,000 billionaires. $1 billion is 1,000 millions. That's a lot of people. Think about it. I can make 100,000 heirs. If you give 100,000 people $100,000, you don't think they can figure out something with that? Now, granted, that's not a good idea. As in this country showed giving people money, what did they do with that? They didn't produce themselves. Most people went out and bought crypto and spent on stupid shit. They made up shit to spend money on because they didn't have it. Rico, new member. All new members, that's the same as a super chat. And we'll do a gummy. So we'll do a gummy. Today's gummies are Pineapple Express. Boom. Thanks for being a member. If you got ideas for new emojis, definitely let me know. That's what I'm worried about. We are about to sell our house and move and build. Hopefully sell enough time before the market crashes and build when it's cheaper. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting. What's up, Griffey? How you doing, bud? Rico Zorro does right. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out Rico Zorro, fucking do it, man. Get him up to 40. Get the guy up to 40. Mike, you need to be at 40 subs, bro. I don't know why you weren't a moderator. Hold on, let me see here. I'm going to drop Mike's link in the channel. Just because Mike's a nice guy, and come on, man. When I say Mike, Rico Zorro, everything else, get this man to 40, please. I did steal my emojis from Google. I have to. Well, I mean, it's. I've noticed other people's emojis, and they pretty much stolen from Google too. So, I mean, that's what it is. All the metrics are showing that. Hold on, where we at? Actually, the Robert one I got from Robert. I didn't steal it from Google. All the metrics are showing that the housing market bubble is about to burst. Yeah, I mean, if you were a gambling man and you owned a house, man, I don't know where you'd live for a little bit, but like, man, sell your house right now, pocket the difference, wait about a year or two, buy a new one. Can you imagine that? Selling your house in a flight of price. Like, say you sell your house for $235,000 right now. And then 2 years, the prices drop, and you can build a new house for like $190,000. That'd be sweet. Hell yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't. Like, if I show the emojis here, it just shows what they are. It doesn't show them on the things. You got to see them on YouTube. Let's see. I think housing will go down, but raw material. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have to realize that we're in an environment where, like, wood and concrete, everything to build a house with is just was so artificially cheap because of whatever. It's gonna be in demand for a long time, man. Because there's so many houses that need to be built. I think what the future will be, when I say future, I mean like what's upcoming. It's gonna be repurposing. The heart is, I let my kids pick an emoji, and Nikki picked a rainbow heart because she likes the rainbow. So it doesn't represent anything personally. It's just, I just let my kids pick out one. Jimmy's still trying to do one. He hasn't got one yet. And the other ones are just because, I like them. I just talked to a contract builder, and he told me lumber is already nice. Yeah, I hope it will go down. I mean, I don't, because it's like this too, man. If the housing market goes down, those of us who plan to live in the same house for a while, like, barring something ridiculous, I mean, they always say never say never. I'm never going to say never. But like barring something absolutely ridiculous, bro, I'm probably not gonna leave this house. I mean, this is probably my retirement house. I mean, I got to declutter a little bit, but I can build in the back. I can build in the side. I can do whatever I want. I mean, I'll have it paid off, and I don't know. I could probably pay it off now if I wanted to, but it's like, nah, it'll never work out for me. I won't get lucky. Yeah, log cabin. See, that's the thing with the log cabin in the boonies. It's like I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere and not have access. I love where I'm at now because, like, I'm 20 minutes from downtown. I'm like 10 minutes from the airport, not even 7 minutes if I'm in good traffic. I can go to Dollar General in a minute and a half, Burger King in 2 minutes, McDonald's in a minute and a half. I mean, everything's right here. I mean, I calculated once when I used to drink, there was like, within a mile and a half of my house, there was like 20 places to buy beer. It's insane, man. Captain says, raw lumber is dropping short term, but things like cement, plaster, insulation are all still going up a lot. That's true. I'm glad I got this room done when I did, honestly. When I say this room, the studio here, because I had everything insulated and drywalled and shit like that, and God knows what it would cost now. I mean, motherfucker. I mean, this room cost me, it was a lot. It's probably good $5,000, I would say, maybe more than that. I'm trying to remember what it even cost. It was quite a bit of money just to make another room. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's that's why I say it's a gamble. If you want to sell your house now, it's a straight gamble. It really is. I mean, you won't know. You don't know what, you can't predict the future. I mean, the market, I could be talking on my ass, so the market could go up years and years. I mean, look at Europe. Look at Canada. You know what I mean? Go try to buy a house in Toronto right now. What's it costing you? Some of you guys are from Canada. What's a Canada house cost right now? I know Saskatchewan, it's cheap. Manitoba, it's probably cheap. New Brunswick, Northwest Territories. Probably some decent housing values to be had out there. You can get a lot of land up in Canada, but you want to go to where people are, Toronto, Ontario, Windsor, etc. You're paying $1 million for a house. $1 million. Get some carbon. We live at the back where the Dollar General. Anything you let it, energy intensive is going through the roof. Yeah, energy cost is the thing. I think this war in Ukraine's got to end soon. No, I think once that war ends, I think the energy prices will drop. Doof. What's up, buddy? My buddy in New Hampshire says his house is twice what it's worth. That's another thing too. It's like, I mean, if there's nobody to buy it, you know, the market can't last. I mean, I think what's going to happen too is you're going to see backlash against all these Airbnbs because people don't like neighborhoods when people with houses don't live in them. And I don't know the exact solution, but like you could do a tax to where, I know some people are like, oh, this is taxing the rich, but whatever, man. Where you could, if somebody doesn't live in the house, you tax them a little bit more. I mean, so if they're going to do that to provide more money to the community, that kind of thing. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? If you want to self-build exactly, then you aren't really losing out. See, I don't I don't have the mind to build a huge house like that. Like, I'm good with just buying something somebody else had. You know what I mean? Building using tips is more expensive. Up front, well, cut energy costs. I read years ago that if you do a house with like old car tires or something, that can help out a lot. That can really cut down on energy costs. And then like the digging into the earth, the geothermal shit. But that's money to make money. In this country, in a lot of these countries, man, you got to be rich to make money. In the UK, if you want the most bang for your buck, you go buy a house in Scotland. You got to live in Scotland, though. Scotland's cool. See, the thing about the States is, dude, I mean, it's now this is weird to say for some of you UK folk, but like, you know, cities in the States, bro, Cleveland, Buffalo, you know, Philly, there's some bad areas, like so bad. And like, so like the bad areas over there are nothing compared to the bad areas over there. I could walk through I challenge you when I get over there, hopefully October, when I get over to UK, challenge me, be like, go in the worst neighborhood. It's not even that bad compared to us. I mean, I've seen some, Ukraine isn't the only thing affecting energy costs. We're still gonna, yeah. I mean, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot more renewables. I mean, it's not that's the thing. It's like, you know, one side wants all coal and gas, the other side wants all solar and wind. The thing is somewhere in the middle. I mean, power and energy concerns are huge cost concerns. I mean, if you're out there homeless and, you know, you're looking for a house, you're used to something, you want 3 bedrooms. You don't want to cut down. You're like, oh yeah, I can sell my house now and then, get $50,000. But what do I get? I get to live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You ain't doing that shit. Heated square feet. Okay, that will make sense because like the basement doesn't count for my square feet. And like the garage, I got a fucking 450 square foot garage. I mean, this studio is probably, 15 by 20 or so. This could be an apartment. I mean, if you had a little kitchen and a fucking bathroom, of course. But I mean, this studio is pretty nice like that. It says, some people from the States are coming up here and buy. Yeah, that's the thing. Nuclear is where it's at, Captain. I agree. The nuclear stuff is really good. And I know there's that small minority sector like, oh, yeah, nuclear waste. Compared to the other stuff, nuclear waste is nothing, man. End of the day, we could probably just blast that shit off into space. Nuclear power is where it's at. And the problem with nuclear is that, the initial expense layout is so much. Like, we haven't had a new nuclear plant built in the world and at least in the States, it's been probably 40 years. And it's just the cost is so expensive. He says, I'll take you to Alum Rock in Birmingham. You'll cry for your mom within seconds. Nice. I've heard nothing but beautiful things about Birmingham. Actually, I haven't heard much. So Birmingham in the UK is pretty much similar to Birmingham in the United States, I guess. It says, I think they're trying to build Rolls-Royce and doesn't want them anymore. Hell yeah. The EU just recently classified nuclear as green energy. Well, that's good. They need to take the lead because I'll tell you what, man. I mean, this is a weird thing to say about my own country, but we're not exactly the leaders in environmental management and getting stuff done. Like, there's so much infighting. You can't get basic shit done over here because there's so much infighting about stupid shit. Like, I mean, the elephant in the room is the infrastructure. People need houses. I mean, this theme of the show is homelessness. There's glaring issues out there. We need infrastructure upgrades and we need fucking new houses for people. What do? They just give people money. They give people over $100,000. Hey, here's $7,500. Why the fuck did they give somebody who makes over $100,000 a year $7,500? The person went out and bought weed. That person went out and bought stupid shit. They didn't give it. That's silliness. Silliness, bro. They need to, I mean, I don't know. Common sense in there. You need some more common sense to run that shit. You really do. I mean, it's not easy, but the housing crisis is something that you could deal with. Now, a lot of people might have to pare down their expectations short term. Everybody really wants their space. Everybody wants a 4-bedroom, etc. I mean, in the next year or two, I mean, even if the prices drop 20%, they're still high right now. I mean, it's going to be a couple years of transition here. It really will be. I don't think that it's going to get too much worse in terms of the bubble itself. I think we're right at the peak. I would say it's not going to get much higher than this. I mean, I would be shocked if, we're sitting here in 2023, July 2023, and be like, oh yeah, houses went up 40% last year. No, they're going to go down 10%, something nominal like that, if I was to guess. Says, Worcester City Council paid millions into getting car charging ports and only about half of them work. Well, that's the thing with cars. And too, I know a lot of this is intertwined, the homelessness and a lot of people living in cars and these vans and shit, but the electric cars, we got at least in the States, we got to massively upgrade. And I know electric cars are just the beacon for Elon because he has pretty much the entire market. I don't know what the exact market is, but name me another electric car besides a Tesla. Can you? I don't know one. I got to look this up now before we go. I got to look at the percentages of electric cars owned by Tesla. Google electric cars that are Tesla. Okay. According to the U.S. registration data, Tesla still owns about 75% of the electric car market. 75%. My God. Hell yeah. Ford Mustang, baby. That's the thing, man. Is that cars? Man, that gas engine is addicting. Like, to hear it and start it up and stuff like that. It just doesn't give you the same feeling as an electric car does. And I was in the service. We had electric tow motors, and there was a couple things that were electric. It's just not the same as fossil fuel. And I know, but I mean, we don't have the infrastructure for that yet. For us to truly do electric cars, we need a huge upgrade. We got to take, I know people don't like eminent domain, but I mean, do you really want to fucking sell 200 million electric cars a year or whatever the fuck it would be. Say it's 50 million electric cars. You want all the money to go to Elon? I sure as fuck don't. So I don't know the answer to that, but good for you, man. Good for you. I try to give as much as I can. I mean, we're doing the food bank thing here coming up. It's pretty okay. Julia says, if the grid ever does goes down, how many people get to charge their cars? Yeah, that's true. I mean, unless you have like fucking, solar power electric station grids, you're not going to have it. California already has electric cars, not charge a piggy card. Yeah. I mean, I read that if everybody got an electric car, the grid would be doubled or something like that. I mean, it's not conceivable. But that's intertwined with the infrastructure bill. I mean, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it all at once. Have a $1 trillion, $2 trillion bill, upgrade all the roads, upgrade all the grid, give people houses, etc. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for coming out. Tomorrow's topic, I don't know yet, but I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Holler at your boy.